Welcome back everyone, my name's Lee from Leslie's Kitchen. Today we are making something different. We're making chow mein. So this isn't your typical chow mein. This is a chow mein that is based here in Australia, and families all over the years have been using this recipe. It's a little bit different. It's not your traditional recipe or anything like that. So come along and I'll show you how to make it. So these are the ingredients that you'll need for it. So firstly, you're going to need 500 grams of mince. So I'm using pork mince today. Usually it is served with beef mince. You can also use chicken mince as well. I've gone with pork mince because it's actually cheaper than beef mince. Beef mince is so bloody expensive at the moment. Then you're going to need a cup of celery. So I've got some already chopped from the freezer. Then you need half a head of cabbage. Then this is the little one that everyone goes, ooh. A package of chicken noodle soup. So if you can get the family size one from the supermarket, usually you can get it in the home brand. Just use that. But I'm going to use this packet of individual packets today. And if you can't get this as well, I'm not sure if you can get it overseas, then you could just use probably a can of chicken soup and just not put the liquid into it later on. Then we've got some curry powder. So that's the flavouring of the actual stir fry. And then we've got onion. And then we've just got some pepper. And then all the other things is just additional things that I put. So usually this recipe has some beans in it and they're just chopped up and put into it as well. I've decided not to. I'm going to put 2 carrots in there instead. And then also I'm going to put some garlic in just for flavour's sake. I'll put a little bit of soy sauce as well later, but I've got a big Costco thing, so that's why it's not out. And then we're going to serve it with these fried noodles. They go fantastic with it. I usually find that this really goes really good with it. So I would strongly suggest that you do buy these. So for this recipe, I'll be using my cast iron wok, and you could use any wok or any large frying pan for this. Alright, so for the cabbage I'm going to use my V-slicer. I just find it's just a lot easier than cutting it with a knife. Now I do have the guard there, I will be changing it over to when I get down a bit lower. Now let's get that on now. Alright, so that's all the veggies all chopped up. Now we're going to start getting the wok heated up and we're going to start cooking. Alright, so now we're going to get our wok heating up. Let's get that on. And let's get that roaring hot. So this is cast iron, so I'll leave this for about 5 minutes before I even try to put some oil in it. Alright, so I'm going to use some peanut oil today. I don't use peanut oil too much, but I like to when I'm doing like Asian dishes, but I use it very sparingly. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil in there, give that a second for that to heat up. All right, and then we're going to add our pork mince. Right, so the aim is to get it all flattened out so it's in a single layer in the wok, and we're going to give that time for it to caramelise before we go and re-stir it. And that way we'll get a better caramelisation than just trying to stir fry it properly. All right, it's been cooking for a couple of minutes. I've thinned it out so much that it's almost actually cooked through. So now I'm going to try and just now get some colour on it. And if it does chew up a bit, don't worry too much. Just let it cook a bit longer, and eventually all that will all evaporate, and then you can actually start browning it again. And then you can see there's almost no juice down the bottom there. Now that's actually frying off. Alright, so that's cooked through now. So now we're going to add our garlic and onion. As I said, the garlic was optional, but I like garlic, so I'm adding it. Onion. Garlic. And then we're just going to cook this until it's translucent. Alright, now I'm going to add my carrots because they're going to take a little while to cook out. Alright, now we're going to add our celery. So this is frozen, so it's going to let out a bit of water, but this is celery like 90% water. Okay, so now I'm going to add my chicken noodle soup. So these are 4 individual servings, so I'm going to add all 4 of these. But if you can get the family size one in the supermarket, just one of those. Or if you can't get this, you could just use chicken stock, so 2 cups of chicken stock, or you could also use maybe a can of chicken noodle soup if that's something you got. Right, so now I'm going to add curry powder. So we're going to add a tablespoon at the start, and obviously you can add more to taste. So I like mine a little bit spicy, but if you don't like the spice, just stick with the tablespoon's worth. Now we're going to add 2 cups of water. Alright, we're just going to let that come to a boil, and then we're going to add our cabbage. Alright, now it's come to a boil, now we're going to add all our cabbage. Now it looks like a lot of cabbage, but this is going to cook right down, so don't worry too much. Now, if you've got something that you can cover this with, I would just for now, just to help it all cook down. So I've got my old pizza pan. I'm just going to put that on top, and I'll leave that for a few minutes to let that all steam and cook down. And I'll just turn it over every now and then. All right, while it's cooking, I'm just going to add some soy sauce. So I've got my huge bottle of Costco soy sauce. So I'm just going to add some of that. And then I'm just going to add some black pepper. I'm not going to add any salt because I've just added all that soy sauce. And you've also got the salt from the soup packets as well. All right, I'm going to let that cook down and then I'll try it for seasoning and we'll go from there. All right, let's try it out and let's see if it needs any more seasoning done. All right, let's give it a go. The salt's good, but I do like more curry powder. So right now you can just taste the curry powder in the background, but I like it when it gets a little bit spicy. So I'm going to add probably about another tablespoon, and then it should be good. All right, I like a nice big bowl full of this stuff. Basically veggies, so it's good for you anyway. Alright, and then we just got our fried noodles, and I love putting these on top. I think they just add some nice crunch to it. Quite a lot of it. Alright, let's try this out. It always takes me back to my childhood every time I eat this. It's so basic and such simple ingredients. And you've got that crunch of the little noodles that really gives some texture to the actual meal. I love making this as like just a reminder of what I used to eat when I was a kid. So I hope you give this a go. And if you like this video, don't forget to like it. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.